All right, so we're joining late. My apologies. Race has started. We had a technical issue there that I was not aware of. My apologies. Ślepinski is leading from the start here. And here he comes now down towards the Flugplatz. Let's give you a view here of the cars coming through. Kirsten's in second, Canola third, Mendes fourth, Illa fifth. And there's some rare racing side by side at the ring that you don't often see. But anyway. Ślepinski started from pole position, and he had an incredible opening lap. Set his qualifying lap at 7 minutes 56 seconds, and 6 seconds back was Kirsten. And look at how much of a gap Ślepinski's already pulled out on Kirsten there. Incredible. So Kirsten here is being hounded by Canola and a few cars behind him. So I guess we can say that our resident ringmeister for this race is Ślepinski. Look at the gap he's already pulling out. 0.7 of a second. Or actually, no. It's about 4 seconds there on Kirsten. But this is going to be an interesting situation because, just real quickly, looking at the point standings, you have a situation here where Anders didn't score any points in the last race because his engine blew. So this is a chance for Kirsten and Ślepinski to really make hay here, and Grant too for that matter. Liam Dolan rounding out the top 5 with 38 points. Yeah, so Ślepinski is pretty much checked out already as I head through the north part of the circuit here. Here's Kirsten, Canola, Raymondall, Yunt, Boss, Team, Sibignani. This is probably the closest together you're going to see the cars. Because of the fact that, oh my goodness, there was looked like a bit of a spin there. Yes, that is Bouchard. Bouchard's getting this car going again. Good. So he continues on. But the cars are going to get very spread out. Oh, look at this. We got a close battle here for second between Kirsten and Canola. Canola driving in place of Nilsson, who couldn't make it here. He's watching on YouTube at the moment. But here they come, and it looks like Kilnola is going to take him on the inside, and does so. So Canola moves up. Oh, but Canola's running a bit wide. Oh! Don't lose the car. Don't lose the car. Oh, my goodness. Canola nearly lost it. And look at this. Now he's got cars coming up behind him here, possibly. Yeah, there's Rayrudal and Canola there, and Rayrudal gets by. So all you have to do is make a small error, and Radal gets by. Canola drops all the way to 5th place on that small loss of momentum. That's all it takes. Into the carousel. Here's Ślepinski once again, heading through the 3rd sector now. This is the sector that most people don't ever see. It's because it's the sector that they crash before they get to it. Kirsten, Radal, Boss, Canola. The interesting part too, the circuit, is so varied and so different the whole way around. It doesn't necessarily favor turbo cars. And on the grid, we had a really big mix of normally aspirated and turbo cars. So Ślepinski looks like he's going to check out here, and the start obviously is already complete. But good grief, he's just taking off. Kirsten, oh, Ridal has gone off again, and that's going to allow, well, not again, but that's another Capri that's gone off. And it looks like everybody's clamoring to get by. Boss got by into third place. Oh my goodness! Oh, Sibignani has lost his front wing in that situation, which is not good. Now he's going to have to drive 6 more laps without a front wing. That's not good. Goodness. As they head into towards the end of the third sector here, we're into the Schwabenschwanz section close here, which is literally translating as swallow's tail. There are 5 cars out of the race already. Simon Wattman, David Yunt, Ricardo Mendez, Tim Hilla, and Johnny Aces is out. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, he had the opportunity to go. But in any case, so, interestingly, everybody very close together here. We'll see how long this kind of situation can be maintained, because it's easy for people to get spread out after a while here, and few people to be in contact, but we're enjoying it now as these cars head down the long, fast section. There's the castle at Nuremberg, and you can see here how, oh, there is some side-by-side action here for, I believe it's 6th back here. There's Canola. There's De Vries, who just got in front of John Team. That was the overtake that you saw there. Now we're heading into a section. Oh my goodness, Sibignani, I believe, is now dealing with the understeer of that car as they head into the final series of corners here to complete lap number 1 of 7. Corner there, you can see how Sibignani is struggling with the car. Slepinski already far gone in his 320. Let's see who else is here coming through. God, it's such a long gap now between first place and here come the others. All right, there's Kirsten, Boss, Ridal, Canola still hanging on in 5th despite the mistake. De Vries and Sibignani hanging on there in spite of the fact that he doesn't have a front wing. So this is a really unenviable place to be here where Ray Ridal is. He's stuck between 2 cars. So he has to constantly be looking forward and backward. I can't imagine a situation that's less stressful than this at the Nürburgring. I mean, this is just such a magnificent circuit. 14 miles around, 22 kilometers and change, and really there is no other track like this when you think about it. It's interesting that next week we're doing Indianapolis for the time trials, so we're ticking the boxes of great circuits here over the next few weeks. So here they go, heading up a short hill here. This will lead them on to where the Flugplatz is, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if they get any air. Yes, they do. They get just a little bit of air at the Flugplatz. Very nice. Heading down the long hill now. This is Adner Forest, which after the foxhole can very easily have a car go off the track. Kirsten continuing in second place here. A reminder about the points situation here. Kirsten and Lipinski are both in second and third, and Nilsson is not in the race. So this is going to be a very interesting situation here. If they can score maximum points in this race, it will throw things wide open. It's very tight right now, but it could go even more wide open after this race is over. Also note that we have this race doubling as a Lukáš Vydra trophy race, actually the first round in the series that we named for our friend Lukáš Vydra, who loved sim racing and left this earth just far too soon. And here quickly is a look at the LVT point scheme for this race, and it's based on the time, I believe, of the race. It's going to be even more for the second LVT round, which is going to be Indianapolis, also doubling as round 6 of the kart series. All right, so, oh, there goes De Vries. I think De Vries is trying to advance his position. No, it's Canola. Oh, goodness, Canola apparently has had another collision, and that's bad news. Yeah, he's lost a wheel, and he's out of the race. Oh, that's too bad. So Canola out of this race. Look at Grant Riddall there getting by Sibignoni. I think Sibignoni's really struggling there in this car. So we're on lap 2, even though it says 3 up there. The first lap was run off as a can Boss get around Kirsten here? Lipinski way far out in front by 17 seconds. I guess we know who's really good at driving the ring here. Boss following Kirsten here very closely. Here comes the classic carousel. Looks like Kirsten's got a bit of a better edge in this sector than Boss does. But you see how it's just back, forth, up, down. You get no rest whatsoever. Soldiering on to 6th. Oh my goodness, yeah, things are, oh, look at this. This is really not a good situation for Sibignoni. He's basically stacked up a whole bunch of cars behind him. There goes Team trying to get by, finally does. Poor Sibignoni has got no front wing in that car, and so he's got a significant handling deficit compared to the car. Look at everybody just stacked up behind him. I'm sure they would love to get around him, but Sibignoni, quite rightly, is still racing. He's not a lapped car, so he's not obliged to make room for anybody. I'm thinking that it'll be interesting to see what happens when they get on the straight here. If the lack of a front wing actually gives Sibignoni a straight line speed advantage. Got a few more corners to go before the mini carousel, and then we'll see what happens here. But these cars are all stacked up behind Sibignoni and probably pretty frustrated not being able to get by, but Sibignoni is doing the best he can with what little downforce he has, as they have a little bit of air there, heading towards Schwabenschwanz. Yes, through the second smaller carousel, the climb carousel. Now we head up to the long straightaway, and here it'll be interesting to see if the cars can get by. It may be that lift slows down this Beamer. But anyways, Wilkes is alongside now. Here comes Wilkes, and he seems like he's going to be able to get by here without too much trouble. Looking to from above here. But you see there's what I thought. Sivignani has no front wing, so there's less downforce and therefore more straight line speed. So maybe he can actually pull out distance here, which I'm sure a lot of people are not going to be thrilled with. There's another car in front there, actually. John Team, who's lost a front wing as well. Sabre also going through and taking Wilkes as they head to the slow part of the course again. Everything at the front is the same except for, Boss has gotten ahead of Kirsten. Kirsten is now fallen back to third place. And he's got Ray Riddall behind him. So we didn't see that, but Kirsten has fallen to third, Boss to second. Lipinski is still in the lead by a considerable margin. And you see now the update there of, actually, there's more retirements there. Centorami, Dolan, and Canola. We saw Canola's accident on the far side of the course, but now heading back onto the circuit proper. This is starting lap number 3 out of 7. So it'll be interesting to see if Ray Riddall can advance his position here. See, this is an interesting problem here with these cars and this circuit. The circuit is not particularly wide. It's rather narrow. So you can see what happens here. Ray Riddall coming through, and you can see the width of that car. It's wider than the BMW 320s, and trying to get past somebody here usually depends on taking advantage of a mistake. But if you've got a wide car, you can make it difficult for people behind you. Here we go to the flood flats. Let's see if we get any air here with these cars. Yes, we do. There's some air. Ray Riddall continuing on, but you see there how close you come to the grass. You really have to get the car settled once you get out of that corner. It's very difficult. And look at that. Down the inside goes De Vries and takes Ray Riddall. Great. That's a great overtake. De Vries definitely on the move there in his Beamer. And De Vries is up 7 places from the start. That's fantastic. It's a really cool drive so far. Driving very quickly in that Beamer. So Riddall drops to 5th. Canola out of the race, unfortunately. He was replacing Anders Nilsson for this, so the car won't finish. We know that Anders won't score more points, but the question becomes how many will Kirsten and ultimately Lipinski score? Lipinski's leading by 21 seconds. He can take it easy at this point, and I don't think he needs to drive that hard. But in any case, he's way out in front. Second is Boss, and then third is Kirsten, with De Vries closing in. So it'll be interesting here to see if De Vries, let's go to his car, can catch Kirsten. De Vries definitely on a charge. And as you can hear from the engine, I believe this is a normally aspirated version. We don't hear the soda pop turbocharging going on. If we go forward to Kirsten's, I believe we will hear that. Props any downshifts? No, not really. All right, in any case, let's hang here with De Vries and see if a overtake develops here as they go through X-Mule, which takes you up a hill here. Now this section is deceptively fast. The corners that you have here, you can actually come through here a lot faster than it may seem. This is a flat-out kink. This next one you have to downshift for, but there's a series of corners going uphill here where you can pretty much take the thing flat out if you know what you're doing, if you know what's coming, like right through this section here. But you can see, again, how narrow the track is. If you're going to attempt an overtake here, you better be really sure you can get it done because there's such a narrow section here. slowing down a little bit for that left, but oh my goodness, onto the grass is De Vries, but he didn't seem to lose too much momentum. And the next right-hander they take will lead them to the carousel, which is further uphill. Here comes the carousel. Left-hander dropping in. Oh my goodness, he's very close to him now. Is he going to take it now? I mean, you can see it's like impossible. All Kirsten has to do is just place his car kind of in the middle. Oh my goodness! Kirsten just disappeared. He's out of the race. That is a disco. You saw it happen right in front of you, and look to the left. Kirsten is now heading down the chart. That's such a disappointment. Kirsten discos right in front of our eyes. Poof. Oh my goodness. Well, there goes a chance for him to advance on the points chart that was right on the platter. I mean, he had the only other car that the driver to worry about was Slipinski, and he's gone. Just like that. A disco. I can't imagine. He must be absolutely pounding the table or whatever is near him right now. Absolutely just really too bad. So De Vries has got a little bit of space here before he gets to Boss. Grant's in fourth. Fifth is Saber. Saber's having a good race. He's up 16 places from the start. My goodness. I don't know how you make up that many places. Wilkes is in sixth. He's doing well in his Beamer. And then here we have Team, who's actually, he and Cipriani are both without front wings, and the guys behind them are probably clamoring to get around, and this is probably really frustrating. But there's Kovacs looking up the inside, but just can't get alongside of Cipriani. He's trying again. Here goes Kovacs on the outside. He's not really in the right spot. Let's see if he can somehow shoulder by. And he does, finally. So Gregory gets by, but no, Cipriani is still trying to get that position back. But it's not going to happen. Now here comes Janik. Janik's going to try to get by Cipriani. I really can't imagine how difficult it must be right now in that yellow car without all that aerodynamic, and you've got all that lift going on. There's another place where they go through the air. My goodness. Janik looking to try to find a way by, but again, it's just like, you know, you stick your neck out and you really hope that you can get it done. Janik is looking on the outside here. I don't know if this is going to work, because here comes another carousel, and in theory, Cipriani's faster. Yeah, Cipriani just was in the right place there. You can't really go faster on the outside of a carousel like that, so that cost I don't blame Janik for trying, though. He was trying to find a way by, and now he's almost right back with him again, so we'll see what happens on this straight here. Let's go inside here with Janik. Looks like Cipriani is pulling away on just sheer power. Oh, and there goes little Al Aquino by Janik. So Janik drops to 11th. Looking down the straight here. So I guess the Lotus just doesn't have quite the power that the Beamers do. All right, so back to De Vries here, who's in third. Slipinski still leads. Boss, you see just ahead of you, is in second. De Vries is in third. Looks like he is getting closer here. He's definitely closing through this first sector. Getting right here. So the Flugplatz is not far away here, which is not going to be an ideal place to try to overtake, but I'll bet he might be able to take a shot at Boss and Ehrenberg, which is at the bottom of this long stretch. There's the Hailer, there's the Flugplatz, now through these two right-handers, which are very difficult. So Ehrenberg is at the end of this long straightaway section here. It's not a straightaway, but it's flat the whole way through with the throttle. Now heading towards, going up now to the left here. This is Ehrenberg right here, and is he going to try to take him? No, not quite enough room. Now they're heading down through the foxhole, but De Vries clearly is the faster car in this situation. We'll see if he can get alongside of De Vries at some point here. Left, right, and you see it progressively get slower through here. This is where a lot of people make mistakes, actually, heading through this section here. But De Vries and Boss is obviously probably the most important race in the circuit right now, as Slopinski is just all by himself. Boss, De Vries, Grant is in 4th, Saber by himself in 5th, Wilkes is in 6th, and then you've got this massive traffic jam behind Sibignani. I don't fault Sibignani for racing. I mean, it's what you want to do, but good grief. I'm quite certain that, on balance, all the cars behind him are faster than he is right now. And we just love it if he would just get out of the way. But, of course, Sibignani is not going to do that as they enter Adnar Horst. Coming through this section now, you can see they're looking for a way by. Gergely is definitely in a faster trim than Sibignani. He almost made it alongside a couple of times. And I think the irony is that Sibignani has better straight line speed without that wing. But look at Sibignani, he's swerving all over the place, hard to keep control of the car. Gergely almost got alongside him there, but just couldn't do it. We'll see what happens at the bottom of the hill here. They downshift. This is a series of right and left-hand bends that are kind of tight, so I doubt there's much room here for anybody to do anything. Gergely may go for it at the end of this. Yeah, he's definitely got a head of steam here, and if he places the car right, maybe he can slip by here. No, he cannot. Sibignani's got that part of the track covered. Heading back to the right now. And Team is back there looking to improve his position. So if it could be that if Kovac tries to make a pass and it doesn't work, you can easily see him fall backwards. And here comes Team looking to get by now. So it really is like a bottle of champagne with the cork in it right now. And these guys are desperately trying to exit the bottle, and they can't do it. This is the definition of a bottleneck, I think. Again, not. Whoa, there's Team running wide. Team runs wide, and that could possibly give an advantage to Aquino behind, but it looks like he wasn't really ready for it, so no harm, no foul. But here they come, these five just absolutely together. And meanwhile, you have, because of this going on here, they've lost ground, they've lost touch with Wilkes, who's in 6th, Saber is in 5th, and Grant, who's in 4th. I gather, you know, if Sibignani's car had full wings, I don't think that this would be going on. I think they'd be far closer. As here comes Aquino trying to get by. Team is also suffering from the same problem. He's lost his front wing. And Aquino looking to shoulder his way alongside here. Can he do it? No, he almost did. Here's Gergely in the front there trying to overtake Sibignani, but just cannot get it done. Now here comes Team on the outside. So things are really nuts up here. Boss is still ahead of De Vries. There's a little bit of a love tap from Kovacs. As they head now into the 3rd sector of this Nürburgring Nordschleife circuit. Wilkes in 6th, Saber 5th, 4th is, oh, this is interesting, look at this. Grant has actually closed up behind De Vries. So this is quickly going to become a 3-car battle for second place. Interesting. Because before it appeared that he was far behind, but no, he's actually caught these guys. So that's going to make this very interesting. I mean, it's not terribly interesting when you have a 27-second lead with Ślepinski. I mean, good on him. He's doing a great job. But this is where the action is back here. Boss has a little bit of breathing room between himself, De Vries, and Grant. But this is probably going to develop into a 3-car situation very, very quickly here. Look at that, De Vries right with Boss now. It kind of accordions back and forth. You know, all it takes is a little. Look at that, Grant, a little bit of a miscue there, and that's going to put him a little further back. Looking from De Vries' car now, this is as close as he's been. Well, he's been closer than this before, but it's all going to depend on who gets a good exit coming out of this corner. And right now, they're about even, so they're heading now onto the long straightaway. If De Vries can pick up the toe. Oh, Boss looked like he had a better exit from that corner, so maybe he's safe for this lap. And you see in the rearview mirror on top right there, Grant closing. That car's getting a little bigger. Yeah, he's definitely closing on Rob De Vries. Now, can he do anything about it this lap? I doubt it, but that shows you. Actually, I don't know. Look at that. He's really closing now. And he's pulling out. Is he going to go by? Yes, he is. There goes Grant into third place, slipstreaming past Rob De Vries. Bouchard out of the race now. So the DNFs are mounting, and of course we can't cover all of them for you, but in any case, coming now onto the main straight to complete lap number 4, going into lap number 5. There was a yellow flag there. I think that had more to do with the proximity of a car in the pits than anything else. But Ślepinski still leads. Boss is in second. And you're seeing Grant Ridall in third right there in front of you. Boss is in second, just ahead of him. We're riding with Rob De Vries, who is in... Oh, my goodness! So, now De Vries is in fourth. Boss, Grant Ridall, so... The standings are doing funny things on the left here anyway. Looks kind of weird. That's what threw me. Anyway, so again, Ślepinski leads by 28 seconds. Boss is in second. You just see him ahead of Grant Ridall there, who's in third. We're riding on board with De Vries, who is in fourth place. Saber's in fifth. Richard Wilkes is in sixth. Sibignani has just gotten by Kovacs. Interesting. Kovacs in this battle with Sibignani still rages on. It looked like Kovacs was ahead of him just for a moment there, and then Sibignani got back by again. I think it's amazing that Sibignani can still race with his car like that. I mean, in any normal situation, if you take the front wing off and you got that exposed frontal area, it's just like an air brake. At least I would think it would be, but apparently it actually makes the car faster in a straight line without that big snow shovel up there. Anyway, Sibignani looks like he's holding his own against this group of cars. The team has fallen back a little bit. He's fallen behind Aquino. So here's De Vries, Boss, and Grant. Grant, of course, having just advanced his position to third. Heading down through the foxhole now. So Grant definitely is ensconced himself in third now. So I really took the start out of De Vries' charge. But Grant is up 20 places from the start. So he's been charging just as much as De Vries is up 7 places. Grant's up 20 from the start. So it's pretty impressive. I wouldn't count out De Vries yet, though. So Boss is 25 seconds behind Ślepinski, and unless something really catastrophic happens to Ślepinski, I don't see him closing that gap anytime soon. Saber in fourth, Sixth is Wilkes. Let's look back here, see what else is going well. This again. And you can see there, Aquino has made it past Kovac into 8th place. So there is a change in position going on here. But is he going to be able to get around Sibignani? I don't know, as they head up to Adnar Forest, lighting up the tires a bit there. Oh no! Kovac just lost his front wing in a skirmish there with Gergely is not going to be happy about that. Now he's got the same problem that Team and Sibignani have as Janik moves ahead into 9th place. Now Team's trying to get by, and he's going to get by too. So Kovac is now all the way down to 11th after that. So maybe there's more than just wing damage. Maybe it's something more significant. But that's really too bad. He had a good charge going on. Now Janik is right with Aquino. I don't think that Janik has the straight line speed to match Aquino. At least it didn't appear he did last time. But look at this. Look how close everybody is heading into this very, very tight section. We're going to head down now to a bridge here. Heading to the left, and then back to the right. Then the bridge occurs. But definitely, this is high-stress stuff. Because you know that the hedges and the barriers are there, and if you make one small mistake... Oh my goodness! I got a bit surprised there by Sibignani veering to the left, but he's alright. Oh, Team looks like he's having an issue there, but he's back going again. Yeah, Kovacs is falling further back, so I think there's something more wrong with this car than just losing a front wing. Suspension damage perhaps might have occurred there. Of course, he's the only one who really knows. Aquino all over the back of Sibignani. Heading up this long, long hill now. Let's go on board with Alberto Aquino for the moment. You can see the Lotus is staying right with him there. Oh my goodness. That was a very, very unfortunate left, right. But look at this, Sibignani moving slower here. But of course, this again, look at how wide his car is compared to the road surface. Where are you going to get by? You can't. Heading now uphill to the carousel. Now downshifting for the carousel itself. Popping out here. Back to the left. Right again. So Sibignani is finding a way to keep this car rolling despite its problems. Pretty impressive. Drexler is running in 12th. So the last point paying position right now is Team. Reminding you again of the way that the points go in this series. Top 10 score points. When we get to round 9, it's going to be interesting because then we're going to start talking about drop scores. The other thing that's important to take account of there is that you have to cross the line after the leader does. So we may have to wait a long time. Oh my goodness, there's action on the track here. Hang on. Lots of crazy stuff going on with this group. Cars off the track. Team with a back end that really is all over the place, and that's surprising given how much downforce he's giving up on the back or on the front. But this group just does not quit. They just keep going at it. Sooner or later, someone's going to make a big mistake, and the order is going to change. You can't just keep going at it forever here. No, Barry Lynn, this is not an easy track at all. There's a reason why it is called the Green Hell. As oh my goodness, almost a collision there between Janik and Sibignani. It's 14 miles of going up, down, left, right, blind corners most of the way around. Easily the most challenging track in the world. And there goes Janik around the outside, manages to get the edge of the carousel, and he gets ahead in his Lotus. That was a really good piece of driving. I wouldn't have thought that he could do that, but he just got onto the carousel with his left-hand tires. I would have thought that would have pitched his car into the barrier. But look at him now. He's out in front. Now we'll see what happens when they get on the straightaway, as Aquino and team are still going at it. Okay, we're on board now. Oh, look at this. There's the turbocharged power. There goes, yeah, that was what we witnessed before. So Cibignani simply powers by, and also so goes Aquino. He gets by Janik. So apparently the Achilles heel of the Lotus is straight line speed. All right, well that's going to be interesting when they're coming to the finish. These guys know that they have that extra power, so if they're in that situation again with Janik in front of them, they could just redress it on the straightaway. Cibignani continuing. Ślepinski out of the race! Boss is in the lead. Ślepinski is out of the race. Replay. This is going to take a minute, but we got to know what happened. So apparently he made some kind of a mistake. I sure hope it wasn't a disco, because that's incredibly frustrating. Going backwards here in time to see if we can see what physically happened to Ślepinski. It probably happened a while ago. We were back watching everybody else. It's so hard to keep track of this stuff when it's just you and nobody else in the booth. I said that before. We're going to find out, Anders. We're going backwards. Give me a minute here. Oh, goodness. Still heading backwards in time. Okay, here we go. So here's Ślepinski going through the loop that leads. This is after the start-finish line, so here we go. Let's see. Still in the lead at this point, despite the graphic on your left. Heading out of that loop, and please tell me this wasn't a disco. It was. It was a disco. Incredible. That's the second disco, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the length of the track. I don't know, but in any case, Ślepinski now very much out of the race. And Kovacs is in the pits fixing the car, which is going to make him go further down. So apparently that damage was way more than what it appears on the outside. It's not just the wing. So now Boss all of a sudden is in the lead, with Grant Ridall clambering all over the back of him. Actually, the thing that is amazing here, we started this race with Kirsten and... Oh my goodness, look at Grant get a slide on. Good grief. That looked good. But it's not... That could be a good picture for Janik to use for some of his artwork he's been doing post-race. That'd be a great shot. But I may have to go back to that for our shot to go on social media. But in any case, Boss now in the lead. Grant Ridall is in second. De Vries in third. Saber fourth. Wilkes fifth. Cibignani is in sixth place. And if I'm correct, if I go back far enough here, Ślepinski and Kirsten are both out of the race. Those were the people who stood to gain the most advantage here, because looking at the driver's points, they're in second and third, and it looks like we're basically going to be kicking the can down the road, as it were, with the championship. So Anders can sit back and relax. His two main competitors are not in the race anymore, so there's not going to be a big change there. The big change that could happen is Grant Ridall could advance up this ladder but definitely it appears that Anders' points lead is secure at the moment based on what we've seen. Little Al trying to get by Sibignani here, who's now in 6th place despite the damage. Oh, he's right with him now. Can he get alongside? It looks like he's right. He's placed very well, but no. Sibignani refuses to give way. And, oh my goodness, some contact there. And he actually lost momentum, so there you go. Now you can see a red Esprit getting bigger in the mirror for a little Al, but and this actually could be a chance for Janik. Let's see if he's able to get by. Team is actually hanging with this group still, which is impressive. Oh, look at this. Here comes Grant. He's trying to get by Boss, and we may see a change for the lead here before the lap is over, because Grant has shown superior straight line speed to a lot of competitors. We'll see what happens once they get onto the main straight. And De Vries is right there, ready to take advantage if something goes wrong. And it may seem odd, but we are now on the next to last lap of the race, the penultimate lap. I think when they cross the line, it will be going into the final lap. But look at that. There's De Vries alongside. Can he get there? No. So we better keep our eyes on this group here, because as they head into this next lap, it'll be the final one. Grant getting a slide on there, and he's got De Vries. Okay, here we go. Here's show and tell time coming down the main straightaway. On board with Grant. Let's see if he can jump in front of Boss here. And you got to believe that these guys are pushing their turbochargers to the absolute limit. So the question becomes, are we going to see new Pope smoke come up from these cars or not? He's definitely closing, but it looks like Boss has got plenty of steam to stay ahead before the lap is over here. In fact, De Vries, where is he? De Vries has fallen way behind here, actually, those two. So something must have happened as they come into the pit straight here, and we're going on to the final lap now. So it comes down to Boss, who, I'm trying to remember the last time Juha won a race outright, and it's been a while, I think. So Juha, basically his task now is to keep Grant behind him for 22 kilometers and change. And I think he's definitely capable of doing that, but Grant may have the superior car in this situation. We'll have to wait and see. Oh my goodness, here comes Grant. Juha had a bit of a tardy exit there coming off of that corner. Is Grant going to be able to get him? No, I think Juha has pretty superior accelerator. No, wait, Grant goes by. Grant goes by, but he's overcooked it. He goes onto the grass, comes back on. They touch. Boss retakes the lead. My goodness, and now Grant is back alongside. They touch again. My goodness. It's bumper cars here at the Nürburgring. Grant is by, but he's still unstable. Grant now into the lead. Boss back to second. My goodness, there might be some arguments, or not, if not arguments, just some friendly conversations or recap about that in the garage after the race. Boss mowing the grass there, trying to catch up, but my goodness, that was a very, very, we came very, very close there to losing both cars, and that would have played right into Rob De Vries' hands. And I don't think De Vries has ever won a race here at ISO. So you know, who knows what's going to transpire. Grant is now very firmly out in front as they go over the Flugplatz for the last time. Boss is in second place. There is De Vries in third. Fourth, having driven a very, very good race, is Saber. Luck has not always been with him in this series, but he's doing good today. Fifth, Wilkes. That's a great finish for this particular Beamer, which I don't believe is turbocharged. I could be wrong. Yes, it is turbocharged, so he does have that advantage, but too often he's had some races where things haven't gone his way, and he's in fifth now, so I'm sure he's quite happy with that. Sixth, and now smoking, is Cipriani, and that is not tire smoke, that's engine smoke. So I'm sure the guys behind him are going, okay, no need to, oh, and Aquino has lost his front wing, so there's more parts out in the circuit to be picked up. My goodness, it's like jalopies heading to the finish here. Cipriani, he has to make that car last between now and the end of the lap. Can he do it? I don't know. But that telltale smoke is telling me, oh, Drexler's out of the race. So eventually, David Wattman is going to be elevated to 10th, and that means that he will pick up the last point in the points-paying positions, as he's in the... he's not even onto his last lap yet. He's on the carousel on lap number 6. So eventually, he'll go up to 10th. Team is in 9th. My goodness. It's got to be hard driving through all that smoke for little Al. In fact, let's take a look what it looks like from his point of view. He's got the smoke screen in front of him, and he must be thinking at some point that engine's going to go uncle. But my goodness, it's quite a distraction when you're trying to drive good. Now heading into the foxhole for the last time. I think we should be thankful that that's not actually putting down oil on the track, because everybody behind them would be having a really difficult time, as if the ring weren't difficult enough already. There he goes. It appears now that Cipriani has a problem. He's pulling to the side of the track. The engine has gone. So that is the end of Cipriani's race. And that's not engine smoke there. That's just Brian lighting up his brakes, his tires. Oh no! He's lost his front end. So we have 3 cars that have lost their front splitters, or their front wings. Good grief. So, well, at least they're all now equal, where that's concerned. Wilkes still in 5th. 4th is... So things have actually spread out here. No, Boss is back in front now. So Grant must have made some kind of an error, but he's still right there with him. So Boss back in front. Grant is in 2nd. De Vries in 3rd. 4th is Saber. 5th is Wilkes. 6th for the moment is Aquino. And Janik is in 7th, just ahead of Team. These are all lame cars, all 3 of these. Team trying to get by Janik, but not getting alongside him there. Rob De Vries in 3rd place. And Boss has actually pulled out a little bit of a gap here between himself and Grant Riddall. But here he is. He's getting much, much closer here. Grant is. So it's not over yet. Boss in the lead, looking to score his first win in a long time here, I think, at ISO. I don't think he's scored an overall win in quite a while. But Grant is right there with him. And De Vries, both Grant and De Vries, actually all 3 of these cars, Boss is up 7 places. Grant is up 21 places, and then you have De Vries up 8 places. So these guys have done an incredible job, as now Grant definitely is looking left, looking right, trying to find a way to get by. He may do it just based on straight line speed. We'll see. But Boss has shown that he has a lot of power in that car, too. And then you got De Vries right there. So who's going to win the race? Take your pick out of these 3. I don't know. It's really gonna come down to that straight and who gets the best purchase coming out of this corner here. Well, not this corner, but the one that leads onto the straight. But this is for the win right here in this round 7 of our DRM Division 2 series. So you see Sibignani there going down the charts. Okay, here we go. We're getting really close to the end. This is Schwabenschwanz. And here's the little mini carousel that they have to go through. Right there. Boss, Grant Riddall, De Vries, the 3 of them there right close together. Heading through. Oh my goodness, De Vries a little bit onto the grass, but no problem. Now here we go. It is now, as we say in NASCAR, show and tell time. There's Grant pulling out to the right. Is he going to be able to overtake him just on? And second place now. It's reading as second place. Lights flashing. My goodness, side by side. This is for the win, and look at these two. They're just deadlocked going down the straightaway. Boss trying to get the inside here before they get to the Bilstein Bridge. Are they going to get there? Boss is not backing off. He's on the inside. Now it's a game of chicken. Who's going to break first? Grant in the lead. There's contact. Oh my goodness. Boss hits the barrier. Can he keep in second place? It looks like he's going to be able to, but goodness gracious sakes alive. He's definitely damaged the car. As they come out of the corner, and De Vries is going to take second place. The winner of the race, Grant Riddall. Grant Riddall wins. De Vries comes across the line in second. And Boss, it appears he did cross the line back there, so Boss will come across in third place. Yes, he did. Boss is technically third, but man, he tried everything he could to keep Grant behind him there and just ran out of room. Didn't work. Here comes Sabre in fourth place. De Vries, Johnny on the spot there, taking advantage again, as we say, of other people's problems. OPP, because especially on a track like that, that's how you get ahead. Sabre taking it very easy. There's no real need for him to push too hard because he's way ahead of Wilkes. And there goes Sabre across the line, taking fourth place in his Sachs Sporting Capri #1. Great drive from David, very drama-free. And now coming down the long straight with hedges on either side is Richard Wilkes, who's going to score a top 5 finish. Good for him in his BMW. But man, what an exciting final lap that was. So Grant is taking that win. I know Juha must be really downtrodden. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? No, the engine's still running. He's just... Interesting. Maybe he's almost out of fuel and he's trying to fuel save. I don't know. But in any case, it's still running. Here comes Wilkes to claim 5th place. And this is going to be interesting because there are some DNFs here. Team and Aquino are out of the race, so they're not going to score points. You have to cross the line after the winner to score points. So that's Wilkes in 5th place. 6th place coming through now is Janik. Janik takes 6th place, and he's happy about that. Weaving from side to side in his Lotus. He's loving that. 7th, but out of the race is Aquino. And 8th and out of the race is Team. So that means that Wattman is going to be the last points-paying person in this race, assuming that he can get the car to the finish line. He's still on his final lap. He's way far behind by like 4 minutes. Well, at this moment. So, and you see the 2 DNFs there of Aquino and Team. And if I'm reading the points rules correctly, because they DNF'd, didn't cross the line, they don't score points. So Wattman is going to be the last points scoring car, it appears. So we're only going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars scoring points out of a possible 10. Simply because of that rule that you have to cross the line after the winner crosses the line. So Wattman here, he's under no pressure whatsoever. Everybody behind him is DNF'd. So he really doesn't have to, he can just drive at a leisurely pace now and he'd still get the same result. He doesn't have to race But good job by David keeping the car in good trim and keeping going. While he is on his way to the checkered flag, this is interesting. We're going to go to trivia while the race is still running, technically. The trivia question for you. Who won the Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers in 1979? Was it A, the team of Schurdy, Fitzpatrick, and Wallach? Was it Plankenhorn and Ludwig? Or was it C, Redman and Pasquarolo? All right, time's up. I'm going to wait and see if anybody wants to chime in on the board here. C is what KO says. Anybody else care to guess? We got plenty of time here because Wattman's now up to 8th place. He's going to advance to 7th here once he passes the point where Aquino went off the road. We didn't see that accident, but it was clearly an accident must have been between Team and Aquino because they're both DNF'd at the same time. And they were battling it for position at the time. So I'm keeping an eye here. Anybody else? Both say C there. Anybody else? Well, unfortunately, you're wrong. The answer is the team of Schurdy, Fitzpatrick, and Wallach. And there they are in their Porsche number 6. So sorry about that. So David's now into the last sector here, and at some point he's going to overtake Aquino. Apparently I guess the accident must not have happened. There he goes. He's now in 7th place officially. So 7 cars will finish this race, assuming Wattman can get it to the line. He goes through the mini carousel. Yeah, it's really too bad that they had accidents on the very last lap. I think Boss is probably feeling pretty lucky that he was able to get his car to the line and finish in the top 3. But this is really going to not change things too much. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? What happened? Where's Wattman? Did we quit the race session before he even had a chance to finish? It appears that we did. Oh, no. Well, I'm going to leave it up to the scrutineers to decide what happens there because Wattman would have completed that lap had the server allowed him to. My goodness, that's frustrating. Well, in any case, we'll see what the scrutineers say. So that was the 7th round of this series at the Nürburgring. Quite an exciting race, a lot of crazy stuff going on. I apologize again for the technical issue at the beginning. And thank Jonathan for alerting me to it before the race, or as the race was getting underway, so we didn't miss much of anything as far as the full length of the race. But I apologize for that. Every now and then things don't go the way you want them to. So anyway, coming up at ISO, and I don't think this is going to be a shock to anybody, I mean, because we talk about it a lot, but next week, the Indianapolis 500 Time Trials, the biggest day of the year for us when it comes to broadcasting anything, really. I mean, it's funny because, I've mentioned this before on the air, and with Ricardo, and with Ricardo, and with Alberto, but this race, or this event, the qualifying, the time trials, actually gets more viewers on YouTube than the race itself the following week, often, we find, which is really strange. Anyway, so next week, our time trials, we have 27 people projected to start the time trials session. So there are still cars that are available if you want to take part, and we can fill the field to 33. If you can't make time trials but still want to do the race, you could slot in at the back to fill the field. That's not something that we frown upon. That's okay. But definitely, if you want to be a contender in the race, you've got to be at time trials. It's very tight at the front. We actually have a stock block in the hands of Ian Mills with the fastest practice lap so far. So that gives you an idea of how much skill comes into it, because the stock block certainly is giving up something in terms of speed, at least in some trim levels. But time trials next week. We work really hard to make it a fun show, and hopefully you'll all tune in and enjoy it with us. And then, of course, the following week, the 71st Indianapolis 500-mile race, there's Big Al, the late, great Al Unser, drinking the milk after his surprising but very popular victory. And that will count as round 6 of the kart series, even though technically it was sanctioned by USAC. But Sunday, May 11th, is the actual race, Green Flag 1900 CEST, because it's a 500-mile race. We started a little earlier for our friends in Europe. So, anyway, so that was the 7th round of the Division II DRM series. I thought it was pretty exciting. Thankfully, we were able to get on the air just in time, thanks to Jonathan's quick thinking. But in any case, thank you very much for watching. This is Jason White saying so long. Please be sure to join us next week for time trials. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody take care and be safe.